So the other day, our subscriber friend Rain Valco asked what was going to be the best froob professions to play in Anarchy Online, and I thank you for your question, brother. Thank you very much. So I figured I'd narrow it down to a few and show you guys what I think if you were just getting into playing froob, or even if it was your first time playing the game, what would be the easiest thing to start. So the first suggestion I'll give is Metaphysicist. This is because they are great in every friggin' capacity. Everything about them's great. They're a pet class, and they can also buff their own nano skills. They're really self-sufficient, even at lower levels. You'll get these nanos called that's expertise. Let's find teachings. There we go. And these will stack with expertise, and then from teachings you'll go to masteries, masteries to infuses, and infuses to mockums, and these will add to every single one of your nano skills. There's one for each, so it's really easy to start building on your pets. And as a metaphysicist, you do get 3 pets. You get a heal pet, you get an unbuffed pet. Oh goodness. Alright, see, I'm a froob, so I can't cast everything immediately. I have to buff to cast them. So this is your heal pet, who actually heals pretty substantially, and he can help keep you alive. This is a mez pet. You could pretty much put him on enemies to help calm them. And then you get your attack pet, who either comes in testicular form or demon form. And then you could also, this is going to take a couple seconds for me to cast, and I'll have to buff up to cast it. But you could cast certain spells and create your own weapons, which is really friggin' dope. I think that's one of the coolest things about being a metaphysicist. And this one in particular is one that I really enjoy, because it adds a whole bunch of add-all def, and you could even get these starting at lower levels. The Solar Guard could probably be equipped pretty easily at level 25 with a little bit of work. And the other good thing about Metaphysicist is you can farm an attack pet out of both Inner Sanctum and Temple of Three Winds, and he looks like a Legionnaire, and he's pretty cool. I like him very much. I decided to go in mostly a defensive setup on this dude, so I don't get hit much. My pet could do all the damage, and I could do what I like to do, which is just toss Mindquake, which is a great nuke. We also get lines of nukes. We get 2 lines of nukes. We get the Frost line, which will stun for a quick second, and it will also do additional damage if Mindquake is running. Actually, does it not stun anymore? Maybe they don't. Maybe that just, you cast Mindquake and then you cast something in the Frost line. The good thing about Mindquake though, and the Quake line, is that it actually takes away from nano skills too. But taking a look at this shield, look at this, 210 AAD, we get a little reflect fire. It's pretty tight. It's pretty unbuffed. And from there, we also do get a couple debuffs there we can take away from damage, and more importantly, we can fly. Woo friggin' who, we can cast our own metaphysical wings and take to the MFing skies. Who doesn't want to do that? Now to some of you, this tune's gonna look pretty familiar, and that's because this is our Fixer from the Let's Play, because I'm also going to suggest you give Fixer a try. Fixer uses SMGs and they get really respectable damage, and on top of that they get heal over times, both a long one that lasts for 4 hours and a short one which is a little quicker, as opposed to 10 seconds to 5 seconds. So it heals half as quickly, or twice as quickly I suppose would be proper English, and it's a great way to stay alive. And the other great thing about Fixers is you can summon this armor. You only need 1 piece of it, and it's called Grid Armor. Look at the stats on that, 850 add-all def, you get a bunch of evades as well, some damage added to that. And even for froobs, there's a lot of support for weapons for Fixers, like Gamma Ejectors from Biomare, or once you get to the proper level, Blackbirds. Blinded Blackbird? Nope, just Blackbirds on here. And they're very easy to use, because you could root, run, you could also blitz mission on these guys for money. And the other convenience is that travel is very easy, because you could use the Fixer grid, and you could also grid yourself. So when you're going different places, if you have to move really quickly, it's very efficient. And you also get run speed buffs, which makes life that much better. Just get a little bit faster, and the team's always happy to have a Fixer. They're great support and utility, but if you're soloing, they're also really good, because you get enough damage and evades to kind of subsist yourself, and you also get those heal over times, which make life much easier. Even if you can't necessarily afford grid armor, There are tons of other armors that you could use, like Apocalypse armor. Some people have used Crawler armor, which I really wouldn't suggest. Carbonum is marginally decent, another armor that I really wouldn't suggest. But I would say you can get a fixer, focus on evades, focus on damage a little bit as well, and you're going to have a great time. You're going to be able to solo most things. So the next suggestion I'll make is probably one people expected. It's going to be the Agent. And the reason why Agent is so good is because they could be whatever they want. You can already get incredible damage. You get your rifles starting from, even if you want to get a Barrett rifle on at level 1, which is a Dynaloot only rifle, but a very efficient and very good rifle. And then you could just move up with Caterwauls and X3s, maybe get a long shot at higher levels, and you'll be fine. Rebellion rifle if you're really going there. Because then you could FP Trader, you can get a crazy rifle on, you could FP Metaphysicist, you get 3 pets, you get a heal pet, you get another damage pet. It's nasty. It's I need to turn my phone off when I do this. Yeah, it's nasty. You could really start stacking crazy damage and crazy buffs, because it's really, I play Metaphysicist when I play on an Agent. It's the easiest thing to False Profession, and then you can get 3 pets. You can also add to your own concealment. You can buff agility and sense, which are really convenient, and then you just get really cool rifles. There's great support for armor in both the Temple of Three Winds and Inner Sanctum, and it's all about stacking, man. You could stack whatever you want on this. You want a FP Doctor, that's fine too. You just keep yourself alive with your own heals, but I would always suggest going with False Profession Metaphysicist. Just makes life way easier. And the other good thing about Agents is you have the use of being a fixer too. If you want that quick transport, you just False Profession Fixer, you just grid yourself if you need to. But you can't use the Fixer grid. But you can use pretty much every item that everybody else could use in the game, which is really, really dope. Ladies and gentlemen, my final suggestion for you is going to be the Martial Artist. There's just so many great things about them. They can get tons of evades, they do tons of damage on their own, and they get a bunch of heals. For example, you get your own team heal, or single heal, and then when that's in recharge, you just pop a team heal. So you could really keep yourself ahead of damage. And then on top of that, you also get damage buffs if you really need to keep ahead of that damage. And the other cool thing is martial artists get attacks, like Upon a Wave of Summer, which adds to your nano resist and has a 5% chance to stun. You get Flower of Life, which is a heal. And then you get Attack of the Snake, Bird of the Prey here, which are also, or Bird of Prey here, which are both damage. Bird of Prey also has a little stun on it. And there are a few other martial artist attacks. There's actually 2 great ones from Temple of Three Winds, being Ape Fist of Column and Tree of Enlightenment, which I would suggest any martial artist get. Temple of Three Winds is really beneficial to a lot of tunes, and that's kind of a good idea to take a look in there and see if there's anything you could make that would benefit from those. Just keep in mind there's good one-hand edged, one-hand blunt, and two-hand blunt weapons in there, and there's all higher level versions of those in the Inner Sanctum, which has a level requirement of 125. But why I like the martial artists is because they can just handle themselves. You get evade buffs. This only adds to Duck Explosive, which is probably the most useless. But the good thing is about them is that they get crit buffs, which are immensely helpful. And then on top of that, you could also use weapons like parry sticks, and you can get more evade close, which is great because almost every mob on RK uses evade close as their check. If you know what I mean. Your defensive check for their attack is going to be evade close. Even cyborgs that have guns, they also have a melee stat and melee attack, so evade close is going to help you out a lot. And then you could have your heals for when you get into a little bit of trouble. You're getting a crit set up and you're going to do crazy damage. You get 3 attack bars. You could get them at level 1 because they sell parry sticks in the old backyards for stupid amounts of credits. Like, they're so inexpensive that it would be a disservice to not get them. But that's my final suggestion. Martial artists, great. There's so many great things martial artists can do. Heal, solo. They also get that new Zazen stand, so that if they have to heal a little extra, it's not a bit of a problem. They could just adapt on the fly. And that's what makes them so versatile and so useful. And there are another maybe 2 or 3 good professions you could pick from. Adventure is always a good idea because you get your heals, you get your morphs. You could get Phase Blades and then get Gelid Blades from Inner Sanctum. So you have weapon selections the whole time. And you got Chiropteras as well. And Enforcer's probably not bad either, except they could be a little tough to solo because they don't have any healing. And Trader is probably the last one I'd really suggest, because you can just do stupid damage at low levels, but that kind of rounds out as you get to higher levels. And you could heal yourself, but not as efficiently as you used to be able to. So thank you for watching, guys, and do what it do, son.